Hi, I'm here again. This is a large book that was custom ordered. So I want to make a video of it, to show it, and also to keep a record of it. So it's the Four Seasons book, and this is a big undyed leather closure that I just treated with some leather balm. The big cover is made with batik ferns. The lady wanted ferns, she likes ferns, so there is ferns on the main cover. As the book grows, you have space to adjust the closure, and I put these on the other side. I usually would do closure that way, but I didn't want it to interfere with the writing, so it's flipped. The book has 4 signature, but actually 8, which is 1 signature, 1 season, two signatures per 1 season. So I'll show it. So the cover is here. So we have batik ferns on rust, we have gel printed ferns, we have rusted fabric, all different ferns. So this is the big cover, the wrap, and then we have 4 small covers. Inside the book is raw silk, is raw golden silk, which is made with silk moths in a humane way. They end up alive when they create the silk, and they bite their way out of it. That's why it's got the knots. So they live. And the smooth silk is a different sort of situation. And this is eco-printed linen here on the end, just to strengthen the end and give it some more interest, because it holds the braids. And let's get into the 4 seasons then. We have, this is quite soft because I don't want it to interfere with the book laying flat and anything, so it's a little bit strengthened inside but still soft. So we have dragonfly, freehand embroidery, and cotton printed, eco printed with fragmites, loads of cotton lace and muslin and stitching, green brocade on inside, hand painted grasshopper in flight, hand drawn rather, in ink, Indian ink. That's the first signature of the first signature. So paper, printed fragmite, a little tag printed on both sides, vintage map, fern vintage book page, fungal decorative paper, writing papers, everything. This is spring, so everything is color wise toned into spring colors, and theme wise is themed into spring, in my mind anyway. So we have the blossom on the trees, and the map is green, quite bright green. So yeah, the greens, and see, and the prints. This is a cotton print, So, and we have a lot of ferns. This is the second signature of spring, and it's a print on handmade paper, which is golden, green, black and white. So I still wanted to represent the nature coming through the frost, the cold mornings. We have a blossom on a rose, still the cold, and eggs because, you know, spring. Map took, vintage map took, check page. And this is a beautiful vintage page, crocus. I got this book in charity shop with all different months of the year, and there was these illustrations and they have gold. You can see they're vintage prints with gold, and yeah, crocus, and a little read about crocus. Very hard as well, lovely. A little pocket there with some hand printed mini tiny ferns from my garden, and these birds in a, like the golden green with the buds, spring. March, this is a little write-up on March, that's on the gold vintage little golden crocus page. It's got golden edges as well. Jolly spring, aged winter, yeah, primrose to spring. So yeah, it's all themed for spring, obviously, because it's a spring signature. And batik, oh, what's his name? That bird that lives in waters. I don't know. And little corrugated pocket, painted green gold. I will remember that halfway through the book. So this is the second, this is the end of the spring. So I need to get rid of all these strings, but I chose the poppy to represent the spring. So we have poppy budding and just coming into bloom, so not all buds are open yet. Now we have the summer, bittern, that's the bird, bittern. Now we have the summer. Jesus, I could have cut all the strings before I did the video. Never mind. So that we have butterfly, we have a large fern print to represent the summer and the dark green and the poppies in bloom. We have beautiful linen fabric on inside, ink painting of a butterfly design paper, hand dyed paper, cherry, vintage cherry page from a book that my grandfather owned, a vintage map of northern France, a check of his paper details, a nice beautiful map, a very old vintage map. Here we have little references to travel as well in summer. So here is some copper cityscape of vintage city, vintage church that I made, and aged, forced some patina on it, which is made into a tag. It's on handmade paper. This is a phone book page, some Beatles page, and the signature string has a ceramic bead. Here is some intaglio printed moths that I made, a beetle page, and the onion paper old map of Essex, beetles, vintage map, East Germany. Second, the end of this signature is batik piece with ancient city here, cityscape on rusted linen with black dye, and a little seed head printed here. You can see the print, and the little seed head print sewn on here. I love this textile collage. I just really like how it came out, the sewing on it and everything. The house, the old house, little freehand embroidery. Here is eco-printed paper tag. Here is handmade yellow paper, and here is gel printed seed head. Okay, it's glassine paper, some moths, a little air paravion. Used to post letters by plane, so they would take shorter time. I think everything goes on a plane now, but like years ago you would have this set of airplane papers and envelopes. They were very light, so it cost less, because the postage to post something by plane was expensive, so everything had to be light. So it's vintage envelope from that set here, just a reference to travel again. Here you can see Essex railway map. Some summer plants, passion flower, Czech plant page, beautiful dyed, hand dyed red orange paper, and we have the poppy again, poppies and wheat on the summer with the gold. I just love it. August, so we are in the middle of summer when we are in August. Little booklet with tea bag print, little moleskin booklet, handmade paper, no, just a packing paper here. This is old, the corners cut off. I reinforced it with tape, paper tape. This is from 1920s. It's a very old chalky, it's a bit stained, chalky stained print, number 1. I think there was about 50 or 40 in the set. It's a Czech set of Czech healing plants, 1920s the book was. And this is, I think, one of the last ones I have. So I chose the fern because the lady wanted ferns. So yeah, that was really fragile, but I have reinforced it and I stitched it in here. So it's yeah, part of this book now. Beautiful. Enid Holden poppies. So we have the theme of poppies and ferns. Free motion embroidered map of city on thick canvas, because we are still going with the travel theme as well because of the maps. Poppy, we have maps, poppies and ferns. Yes. Another type of map. Oh, water lily, also beautiful in summer, and insects. We can't forget insects. Glassine, tea dyed, and 2 different ferns, one on cotton, one on linen, both rusted, and a corrugated paper pocket that I painted with bronze. This is pocket 2. You get, what did I do? Oh, you get into it like that. It's just reinforced with paper, so 2 pockets, one here, one there. And the linen summer fabric again. I love it. Some pieces I hold for a long time, and then one day I find a use for them in a project that I'm doing, or that some I will cut all these strings off. I'm sorry. So here is a poppy in full bloom on the background of beautiful green ferns, and some a textile collage, old crocheting and cheesecloth. Yeah, some pieces I hold for a long time, and then I find that they fit perfectly. And sometimes I buy something and I want to keep it for a while just to look at it, and then I think, yeah, it's time to send it on so somebody else can love it. So here we have a beetle to represent the autumn. It really is a mess. I'm sorry about that. To represent the autumn on rusted fabric and eco-printed thick vintage cotton. Autumnal red orangey cotton inside. Beetle hand painting. Eco-printed autumnal paper, original, obviously. Mushrooms because of autumn. Heavily dyed papers to go with the autumnal color. More mushrooms. Berries, rowan berries, also reinforced, also very old print. Seeds. So we're going with the autumn theme here in this signature. And batik, vintage lace that has been rusted and embroidered with seed head, and some printed seed heads here. Eco-printed paper, pocket here, everything stitched, and corrugated cardboard, painted ochre, pocket there. Hand-dyed glassine paper, mulberry paper. It's fragile but strong. It's delicate but strong. It's cool. The vintage book page about a cottage or hotels. Advertisements, I think from England. Oh, here we have another one of those vintage book pages. We have a wild rose hip. You can see the gold in there, rose hip. Very autumnal. I like picking rose hips for tea, pears, autumn, of course. This map in the colors of ochres and browns, made into a pocket. Little tea bag collage here. A little linen flip, no, tuck. Beautiful moths. Vintage book page. And November, starling. And orange bead. Mulberry paper. Oh, it's stuck to it. It's just for decoration. Oh no, it's not. It's actually a pocket. And a seed head print. The other side of the map pocket. That's actually, the map is reinforced with fabric. That was like that originally, so it doesn't tear when people look at it a lot. Glasgow. Now this is from the rose hip page. September, a night and the lady fair. Morning in autumn, wildflowers. So everything is themed to the Four Seasons. Tours in Wales, Cambrian Railway. Very interesting. I love reading old things. That's the second signature of autumn. Oh, this is bark. Actually, this is a real bark from white birch. It's the other side of the bark from white birch, the side that is on inside, not the white side, obviously. And I really liked how rich the natural color of it, and I thought I could include that in the autumn book. So it's just the birch bark glued on a piece of paper. And here is that's made into a pocket. Here is a linen, part of a seed head printed on beautiful old linen. And here is eco printed cotton, original, printed by me, with cotinus leaf and bramble strings. And here we have the poppies going into seed. So we had the buds, bloom, poppy seed heads, and here is a Japanese maple leaf printed on vintage cotton. I printed that, and I really love this print. That's one of those that I have been sort of keeping for a long time. This is walnut tree leaf from Czech Republic. I brought that leaf, and I brought that leaf back to Ireland from my mother's garden, because those leaves from her garden print the best, and I can't actually get leaves from the same tree to print here like that. So here we have autumnal poppy, and we are at winter, so we have some rustic cotton with some outlines printed of seed heads. So in winter all you get is seed heads, sometimes empty seed heads. So I did like the empty inside, just the outline of it to represent how the seeds are gone, and it's just empty heads here and there. And I love how it came out, the colors and the print. Here we have a cold moth hand embroidered. He's quite shiny, I love him. And that actually has been inspired. There are moths that overwinter on holly and ivy. They just sort of sit there and they freeze, and then in spring they defrost, they warm up and they are alive again. So some of them overwinter just outside. They don't die or go abroad, because they usually, butterflies and that, some of them go to Morocco. They stay here and just wait until it stops being cold. So that was the idea behind this. Here I put handmade bead with a fern that I made, printed and inked. I didn't make the bead, but I printed the bead and I inked it the color that it is, and I varnished it. And we have some white crochet work to represent the snow and frost. And we have a moth here on inside, ink drawing, like in every signature of this book. We have turquoise blue glassine paper. We have a beautiful old map of England, Wales and Scotland, tidbits, and hand-dyed blue papers And birds of prey, I often see them in winter hunting for mice and rodents. And some maps that are color-wise themed into blue, wintry colors, and papers themed into blue, wintry colors. This is a gel print of lichen on the trees. This, I flattened the lichen, I dried it, pressed it and printed it. Here is a print of tiny fern on cotton, on black cotton with white paint. Some heavily coffee dyed moleskin papers, mistletoe, winter scene with robin and tits and frost and snow, mistletoe. Handmade paper, dyed. Writing paper, blue. Hand-dyed paper again. Map, that's the other side of the map. The colors really go with winter in my mind. Here is batik linen, batik Irish linen fern, and here is some seed heads. They have modeling paste here, colored Payne's grey, sort of wintry, flaky situation. Here is a fern print on handmade cadi paper, and here is eco printed paper. This one is quite dark for the winter, dark and grey. And we have holly, this one again with the gold. We have holly. Can you see the gold sort of shimmering? Yeah. So Christmassy, December. So yeah, I'm map pocket, quite proud of this book. I love how these papers came out. I love how I themed it all into the seasons, the nature, the travel. Yeah, I love that. I love how some of the materials I kept for a long time really fitted into this book. The holly tree, all my special pages. Here, this is a pocket. This is this rough fabric I printed, I dyed and printed. And here is another pocket in the paper. And here is my favorite batik crow here, and this lace that vintage lace that I dyed. Oh, that I dyed black and grey. That's from my christening gown. No, yeah, that's from my christening blanket. You know, those blankets where you tie the child like a sausage. Yeah, that's from my christening blanket. That's ancient. Okay, and here is the poppy seed heads, finished, done, empty or full of seeds, wintry and other seed heads. I love these, the big seeds in these. Yeah, and here the empty seed heads. Yeah, the wintry color. So it's done. I just have to tidy up the strings and maybe take some photos for myself, and it's ready to go. I hope you liked it. Let me know, and happy Christmas. Bye bye.